I'm here with the one and only rambling freak, Greg Valentino. Just squeeze my ass.
What's going on? You're back for more stuff. Anyway, remember that guy? It was Chuck Barris and what was that? The Gong Show. Remember that? You're back for more stuff. Anyway, you young guys don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, listen to me, guys. Listen. I'm just moving a magazine over there. I'm not going to show you. I'm going to resist. Alright, I wanted to just touch base. It's not going to be a long video, okay? But I want to touch base on this is all about the last video I just put up. So for, I guess some of you people that didn't see, I put up videos of myself at young and when I was natural and I was really built, you know. And, you know, some people thought I was on steroids, you know. Some people now think I might have been on steroids. Didn't even know what steroids were. Okay, this was the 70s, and for the most part, all I knew was what I read in the magazine, Joe Weider magazine. Okay, sometimes Dan Lurie and Muscular Development, which I wound up working for. Okay, the Dan Lurie magazine, you know, which was Muscle Illustrated, and then eventually came Muscle Mag that I watched. It's Iron Man, but they never talked about steroids. Okay. The real magazine where I really is one of let's see where I have them here is, you know, is actually Muscle Digest is where really that taught me to run. Well, they're under a stack here, so forget it. Anyway, Muscle Digest. That was the one that really you know, put me like where I found out about stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, but before that, nobody knew about what steroids were. It was a hush-hush subject. And if you watch Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he competed in the NABBA, and he was going for, like, the Mr. Universe and stuff, and you'd see him standing on, you know, on a stage, you know, the winner's stage. You see the winners, maybe Arnold, Franco, Serge Newberry, something like that. And in the background, you see all these guys that look like swimmers. They're just standing there, no tan, barely even built, you know, just in... I guess an athletic build, you know, with the little numbers on their shorts. That's because steroids were a hush-hush thing. And unless you trained in a top gym where guys knew about that stuff and you were around top bodybuilders, which I was not, okay, then you know, you don't know anything, right? I only know what I read in the magazines, okay? And so this video is about that. How did I get so built? Alright, and I'm going to get into that right now. So listen to me. When I started working out, I started on plastic weights, just like everybody else did. But I grew immediately, because I was already, if you look at the video that was in the last video, I just put Greg Valentino, Younger Years music video, whatever the hell it says. If you look at that video, okay, you'll see pictures of me. I was 11 years old, and you can see I was very muscular. I wasn't jacked, but I had every little body part. Little pecs, little abs, little delts, little arms, you know, all of it. And I started lifting weights I started doing like isometrics because I was very athletic. I used to be able to climb up buildings and do all kinds of crazy shit, walk on my hands. You know, I used to do this duck walk where you walk on your hands like this and you bend your legs. Like, I used to do all kinds of shit, okay? I was forever climbing up on the buildings over here at the school where I live, and, you know, I'd get the baseballs, the ball, you know, the balls from dodgeball, kickball, and all that. It'd be all up on a roof. All the balls went up on a roof, I'd be up there getting them. You know, I'd climb up the windows, the side of the building. I'd hook up on the roof, pull up like this, go up on the roof, run around. Sometimes I'd see cops, I'd jump off, I'd hang like this, and I'd climb right down, bang. I was, believe me, I was super athletic. I used to be able to do... you know, an iron cross. When I was young, I was able to do. I was young, even when I was a bodybuilder. Not later. Once you start gaining heavy muscle, forget that. But I was doing an iron cross, you know, where, like, you know, your hands on the rings and then you bring up an L like this, you know, and bring up my legs. So I was able to do that. I tried that about 2-3 years ago. I did it in a staircase in a house, and I fell down the stairs. It was funny. I can't do that shit anymore. Are you crazy? But I used to be able to do all those things, okay? And it was a great athlete. Any sport I played, I was really good at. So I was a natural athlete, so I responded very quickly to lifting weights. As soon as I started getting bigger. Okay, immediately, everything just grew immediately. As far as eating goes, I ate. This is when I'm talking about when I was a teenager, a young teenager, working out with plastic weights in my house. My father's an artist. As a matter of fact, there's an artist desk right here. I'm not going to show it to you. It's full of shit right now, and an artist desk is a wooden, it's a wooden desk, and it's angled like this. So I used to put a towel over it and do it preacher curl bend. Not this one. I had another one in my room. Yeah, it's long gone now, but I used to lean over and I would use it like a preacher bench. So I would do that. I used to, believe it or not, I put an Easy Curl bar on the floor, put big plates on it, and I would actually just do, I would press off like this. It was almost like doing skull crushers, but it was my body weight. The plates were to keep it high off the floor so I can get down. Eventually I started doing skull crushers and bench dips and all that stuff. But I did all that at home. All right, so I started out doing isometrics, bull worker, chest expanders, but isometrics, pushing against things, pushing against walls, and doing all that kind of shit. Then I went into the plastic weights and did what I just told you. And then in about 1976, I think it was, a gym opened up where I live, and it was a Nautilus gym, and it was only Nautilus. There was no free weights, there was no nothing. And the guy that owned the gym was a disciple was taught how to do the training. He was Arthur Jones's disciple, okay? He worked with Arthur Jones, and he took Arthur Jones's method that Arthur Jones taught him. And he opened the Nautilus Center, and he started doing just, you could do just Nautilus. He didn't allow you to do sets. One set, and get to the next one, one set, and then go right down the line in the Nautilus, okay? And he would put you through that shit, and bro, let me tell you something. I did it, and it was brutal. It was brutal. Eventually, he put me through 2 sets. I was able to, because I was trying to bodybuild, and bro, let me tell you something. I grew, I was sore, but those kind of workouts, you want to puke, you want to freaking, throw up. The one set could last 4 or 5 minutes. It's insane. It's insane. And this is, first and second generation Nautilus. So it was the chain driven. Oh man, I love that equipment. It's my favorite equipment ever. And he would put me through that workout, and I'm going to tell you something, man. You wanted to die. You didn't even look forward to going to the gym because you knew you were going to die. And some of you guys think you train hard. Now you don't. You have no fucking clue. I don't care how much you think you bust a nut and lift some heavy weight. That don't mean shit. I'll put you through a Nautilus workout like he did. You go through one of the original Arthur Jones way of training. It's like what Dorian Yates used to do, and even Mike Mensa. Dude, you do 1 to 2 sets, you want to die. I'm telling you, you want to die. The fucking set lasts like 4 or 5 minutes. You drop the weight, keep going. Negatives, positives. Slow it down, fast up. Then slow up, and then fast down. Fucking crazy shit, man. Just by the time you're done, you can't move. I'm just telling you, it's brutal training. So I did that, but then I mixed that with the plastic weights at home, and then eventually he expanded his gym and allowed you to do however many sets you want on the thing. And he expanded his gym, and he had free weights and Lou Ferrigno equipment. That's how I met Matty Ferrigno, the father. I went down there and bought some equipment from him myself, and we got it from the gym too. And this shit was, we were crazy, man. We would lift, and I would lift heavy. I was naturally, I had a little Ronnie Coleman-ish in me. I could do heavy weight for reps. I did win a bench show in 1987. I'll put the plaque here. Put it right here so you can see. But the thing is, I was very strong, and I used to train with Charlie Gasparino, Fox Business Shoes, and his brother Jimmy, who was my best training partner ever. I don't really train with partners because I go really fast, low rest periods, but that guy, man, my boy Jimmy, which I'm still friends with today, and Charlie and I, from Fox Business, we're still together, we're still little boys. but I would train with him, and we would do the crazy, crazy heavyweight. I mean, we were putting 315, as I was natural. We would put 315 on a bar, and we would swing curl it. This is ridiculous, though, doing that shit, you know, because it wasn't even a curl. You'd almost be like clean and jerking it. You know, stupid shit like that. But, you know, we had it in our head. You had to do that. I did grow from that, though. You know, I also did, I mean, I used to incline bench over, I had 315, and I would do it 15, 20 times. And I was natural. And I used to, you know, I'd bounce and shit, and I'd arch like a motherfucker, but I got them, and I was natural back then. Okay? So anyway, the type, let me get into the type of training I did. So, the type of training I did was, you know, what I mean is my method, really, was what Arnold did, okay? I read the magazines, the book 3 More Reps, all those different things, and it all seemed that they all kind of trained the same, which was each body part I did, and this is up until I was like 20, which was, you know, 1980. I was 20 in 1980. So, I would do each body part 3 times a week. I think at one point when I first started, and I was like 12, 13 years old, I would actually take, when I first started with weights, and, you know, in the plastic weights, okay, I think I would, I'm not sure, I might have trained every day, you know what I mean, like, you know, biceps, triceps, I only did, like, biceps, triceps, bench, and rows, barbell rows, okay, that's all I did. I'm hitting the lights over here and everything, so I did that. I trained like that, so I did each body part 3 times a week, and I did about, literally, 65, 70, maybe 80 sets of body part. And I know some of you think, like, that's insane, that's overtraining. No, it's not. It wasn't for me, and it wasn't for Arnold. You know, famous story. I've told this a gazillion times. Valentino, you repeat yourself. Fuck you. Anyway, so Arnold one time was training with Sergio Oliva, and he was saying he did biceps, and he did like, I don't remember, it was like 40 sets for biceps or something like that. And Sergio said, man, I'm cooked, I'm going to go inside and take a shower. And Arnold said, yeah, see you in there. I got another 10 sets to do. Gabish, you see what I'm saying? Like they used to do. I mean, if you read the book with Arnold, he would do 3, 4 exercises per body part. And he would do like 10 sets for those exercises. It was crazy. I did the same thing. Okay, so when again, I'll say it again. So when I was doing the plastic weights at the house, I think I was doing like literally all of that every day. That didn't last long, maybe for like a year or 2 years. But I grow, you know, I am a genetic freak, so I can grow easily. Even with steroids, I'm a hyper responder. If I started taking any shit right now, I'd be humongous. Problem is, I'm too old. I'm 63 in another week until August 5th. I don't need, you know, the drama, okay? And I'm done with that. Anyway, so I responded very fast. So I trained each body part 3 times a week. I would do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would do chest, back, and shoulders. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday was legs, and you know, I would do like biceps, triceps, and legs. Okay, so it was like that. And so, and then in 1980 that changed. Okay, I did abs every day. But 1980 that changed. Okay, that I went to each body part twice a week. Okay, each body part twice a week. I always like to keep Sunday off. Sunday's my no fuck around day. You know, well, maybe my fuck around day. There's no working out. Just relax. But Monday and Thursday were chest, back, and shoulders. I did it like that. I kept those. I just liked doing that torso thing like that. I like to do the chest with the back and the shoulders. So it's chest, back, and shoulders Monday and Thursday. On Tuesday, I did Tuesday and Friday biceps and triceps. Okay, and on on Wednesday and Saturday, I dedicated that just to legs. Now my legs grew unbelievably easy. If you see, look at me as a teenager, as a young guy, even in high school, I had fucking wheels on me, bro. Wheels. okay, I had some fucking, I still have them now. Dave Palumbo loves the fact that my hamstrings, I have hamstrings, I could, as good as some of the guys on the Olympia stage. No shit. All right? If I wanted to, when I started juicing up, bro, I would have hamstrings that are so fucking freaky. It'd be as freaky as any bodybuilder's ever had hamstrings. My hamstrings are crazy. Okay? They're big. They're really big. And I was a very fast runner. So I think that maybe had something to do with it. Runners don't have big front, they have those hamstrings, especially speedsters. Well, you know, it's from running, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe that's why I was a good runner. But I was a very fast runner, and I could run for long distance. That's unusual. Most guys can either sprint or run for long distance. Long distance guys had, like, thinner legs. But I could run for either or. I was a very fast runner and I could run for long distance. So, again, it was genetic. So, you know, but I'm explaining to you how I train. And I still trained the same way with each body part twice a week. I still did lots of sets. That didn't change. I still did like 70 sets and shit like that. You know, crazy amounts like that. I did about 3 exercises per body part, but I did a lot of sets. And I like the feeling. See, I can hold a pump. Unlike most people, I can hold a pump forever. Do you understand? Like, I can get a pump. I could train for an hour. Or I could do biceps. I mean, I've done biceps for over 2 hours, like 2.5 hours. And I hold the pump the whole time. This is when I was young. Okay, I know to most of you people, like, you're not training hard. You must be lifting really light weights. I was not lifting light weights, okay? I used to do concentration curls with a 65-pound dumbbell. This is natural, okay? I used to assist my hand a little bit sometimes, lightly, with a finger. But I used to do 12 to 15 reps with that. Okay? Can't do any of that shit now. The craziest thing is, you know, I benched, and, you know, almost 500 pounds as a fucking natural, and, you know, at 175. I mean, almost. I don't remember. It's like in the high 480s. But the thing is, I wasn't on steroids, bro. I couldn't do any of that now. And when I was on steroids, maybe it's because I did steroids later on. I wasn't as strong as I was when I was natural. I don't care if you believe me. There's a gazillion guys that trained in the gym with me that will fucking back me. I'd be like, oh yeah, man. I don't know why, but when I was young and in my 20s and my teens, I was so strong it wasn't funny. Maybe it was youth. Again, genetics. Okay. But I like a lot of work. I like a lot of work. I like to have a pump and just keep that pump. That's me. I believe I have an abundance of red fiber. That's why I can, you know, with the right mixture of white fiber, because that's where my strength comes from. But the abundance of red fiber, I can just keep going where people just can't keep up with me. I mean, to be honest with you, okay? I still train somewhat like that now. I won't get into the now training. We'll do more of that in another video. But I'm trying to explain to you how I got to what I was. When you see that video that you just saw of me and how built I was. You know, also, when I went out to California in 1981, and I was out there in 81, 82, 83, you know, I learned about steroids from Mike Zumpano, who wrote the Underground Steroid Handbook with Dan Duchesne, and I knew Duchesne as well. Okay, now, they're the ones who told me, and actually Mike Zumpano is the one, you old school guys might know who he is. He started Unipro, the amino acids and all that stuff. He's the one who started all that. I remember him, I was 21 years old. He told me about steroids, and he told me, you don't need them. Don't even fuck with them. Maybe when you're 25, 26. He's the one that told me about don't do them when you're young. So, you know, I would never do that shit, but that's when I first found out about all that stuff, too. I mean, I read about it in Muscle Digest magazine, and at the same time I was in California, and I would be around guys that were doing that stuff. But I was already a fucking natural bodybuilder beating guys on steroids, okay? And I didn't know they were on steroids. I didn't know what the fuck they were. It's just like Lee Haney. Lee Haney even told me a story that when he won the Teenage America, he was out there like this, and he remembers looking left, looking right, and these guys all had weird, like wicked definition and density and hardness, and he was just a freak, you know, and He saw this kid, Andy Lopadote, okay? He's from Long Island. He was a Steve Mihalik guy, and he was a fucking monster, and I know Andy. Andy was a fucking monster. He looked like a grown-ass man, you know what I'm saying, amongst kids. And he was a mass monster. He just didn't know how to pose. He might have beat Lee Haney if he did. And Lee told me, he said, I knew right then and there, you know, I was talking to the guys, and like, you need to go on shit. Well, it's the same type of thing what happened with Ronnie Coleman. When Ronnie Coleman was back, you know, placing like fucking 15th, he was natural. He won a pro. He became a pro as a natural. And he realized, you know, he was talking, you know, with the, you know, I know this firsthand, I'm telling you right now. Okay, I can tell you this is exactly what happened. He was talking to Flex Wheeler. Flex said to him, well, what are you on? You know, what are you taking right now? And he's like, I'm taking protein powder and this and that. And he said, no, I don't mean that. What are you on? And Ronnie didn't know anything. So there are guys, you know, I mean, like John Gremick, old school bodybuilder, who, again, I met. He was a great guy. I met him not too long before he died. And he was natural. Okay, 1930s and 40s, you know, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? And he was a monster as a natural bodybuilder. You know, and he did that with less equipment than we had. You know, he was doing a fucking weightlifting shoe and all that stuff, you know, for legs and everything. And he was a monster, you know, and I liken my genetics to him, you know what I mean? I'm from that cut from that old school, you know? I mean, I was using a Bullworker and the, you know, the Crusher, the Arnold Bend, the Crusher. I have trouble doing that Crusher now. I still have it, you know what I mean? I have trouble doing it. When I was freaking 12, 13, I could pump that shit out. And, you know, I responded from shit like that, you know?
I grew up reading Muscular Development.
Listen,
they told it to you straight. Greg Valentino told it to you straight. Remember that dude?
Oh yeah.
Arms?
Well, he what the
inject synthol
in his arms, make them like balloons. Yeah.
Fucked up, but he would tell you the real.
Yeah, come on, Greg.
I mean, even the chest expanders, you know, the springs, I used to put them behind the head, and I would do things like for the triceps out like this, and I would curl from it. I remember one time doing it out, straight out like this, and letting it, you know, it slipped out of my hands and smacked me in the head, you know. I used to do all that shit. The forearm blaster, it used to fit on your strap to your hand, and it was a little handle, and it had all these springs, and you would do it. You know, a lot of you old school guys know what I'm talking about. And I just grew. You know what I mean? I grew from that stuff. So, you know, genetically, you know, I was lucky. So I'm not saying that that's a plan that you guys should do. But I'm going to come out with a video. I might do this next. But I'm going to do a video why most of you, so you stay with the channel here. You know, like and subscribe. And anyway. I'm gonna do the next video on basically like what I think that why most of you guys don't grow and why some of you guys keep the minute if you're one of those guys from the day you started training, started taking juice, even if you're super jacked, bro, you won't be. I hate to be you when you go off. You're gonna be fucked. You know what I mean? Anyway, oh, by the way, don't forget the Game Face, bro, smokes Joe Rogan shit, smokes it. Smart drug, lion's mane, and somebody wrote to me about, oh, lion's mane. I heard somewhere on a Limer, a guy said lion's mane almost killed him. Get the fuck out of here. Lion's mane, there's people that eat lion's mane. They eat it like it's a mushroom, you know what I mean? GameFaceSupplements.com. I don't get paid for this. It's my friend's supplement. I'm pumping it up. His brother just died, you know, from taking that supplement. Just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. His brother died from other things. But, you know, this shit. Got DMAE and all this shit you can fucking give. If somebody in your family's getting Alzheimer's, getting a little cuckoo, you talk to a doctor first because this is really strong. But it's better than that Joe Rogan Alpha Brain bullshit. Anyway, I gotta pump that for my friend. So there's no promo codes. I don't get paid. So I don't give a shit. Don't buy it. Fuck it. But I'm gonna take that. I do take it. So anyway, so that's the name of the game. I'm gonna come out with a reason why I think you guys aren't growing. All right, so I'm gonna do a thing because I have. Believe me, I'm in tune with that shit. And I personally think that I'm not training nobody. So don't ask me. But I personally think I know more about that shit than anybody. You know what I mean? And when it comes to training, not the drug and all that stuff. Nowadays, drugs, I don't even know what the fuck they do anymore. There's the new drug every day. But when it comes to training in the gym, I can unlock why most of you guys are not getting the results you're getting. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. That's how I trained. I trained each body part 2 times a week. I did a lot of sets, a lot of reps. One of the things I used to do when I was a kid, a teenager, when you used to see me, I would go to the gym. I'd try all these funky exercises I'd seen in magazines and everything. And then I would take, paper and I would write down my whole routine, right? And then I go through it, every exercise I do. I didn't really write the sets and reps because I didn't need that. I know what the sets are. And I noticed, but I wanted to go through it, and I looked at it, and I would say, I feel this exercise. Oh, man, this exercise really kicks my ass. This one, I don't know. I don't really feel it. So I take it out, and I try a new one. To the point where every exercise I did hit me. Do you understand? There's no reason that you fucking around with stuff that don't work. Just because Tom Platz or one of these other guys says you have to squat to get big legs, or they have big legs and they squat, doesn't mean that squatting's right for you. I can fucking put big legs on a fucking scarecrow, okay? I said a scarecrow. Yeah, scarecrow, right? Yeah, whatever. I could put legs on a stick, okay? And you won't have to squat. I don't like squatting. I have narrow hips. I can't tell you how many times I threw my back. I used to squat, okay, and I could squat heavy, but that was my downfall. I would throw the back out, to fuck me up bad. And because when I do squat, it was ass to the grass. You understand? You fucking wasn't none of this shit. Put a little bench and bring my ass down the bench and go up. I didn't do that shit. That's I ain't doing that shit. I didn't squat on a Smith machine. I didn't do it. I squatted. So I didn't like it. Pulled it out. But that's what I did. Now, I know some of you are like, why don't you give us a list of exercises? We'll save that for another video. Because there's a lot of, I learned to do things different than most people. Like, I would never go in there and just start benching. Or just go in there and just start doing bicep curls or chest press. Press behind the neck. I would always start with rear delts, and I used to do bent over with dumbbells for years. Most guys don't do that right. They sit there and they do this with the dumbbell, like this back, and this is just hitting the middle of the back. I never stop. So, but I'm not going to go every exercise like that. Look, and I'd have to do it in the gym because you guys, I can't just sit here and show you because you can't see what the fuck I'm doing. But the thing is, I learned that I would go in the gym and warm up. I've said this in my arm video. I'd go in the gym and I'd do bicep curls, just to get I would do the Nautilus machine because that's, the Nautilus, I think it was called the Nautilus multi-bicep or compound bicep, whatever. Not the one over the head. This one. With the chain. And I would warm up and I'd get my biceps pumped. And then I'd go do some concentration curls. And then maybe some preachers. And then I'd finish with barbell curls. They were the end. I didn't start with barbell curls. By the time I was done, I couldn't lift the weights that I probably could have lifted if I didn't do that. But the fucking pump and the biceps were just getting beaten up. I'll have to explain more. I'm just giving you a method of how I got like that. All right? And obviously it's genetics, my structure, the shape of my physique, the narrow hips. My waist would be 26 inches when I would diet down. 26 inches. I used to wear Sweetor pants, and it was fucking 26 inches. Meanwhile, my legs were jacked, so it looked good, What else? Again, sometimes it would grow the stash because the face was gaunt like this, and I felt like I looked like a concentration camp guy, so I felt like the mustache. Meanwhile, now looking back at some of those pictures, I'm like, holy shit, the mustache looks worse. And I wasn't always an ugly motherfucker. But so that's pretty much it. So that's what I did. I started off doing each body part every day. Then I went to each body part. That whole thing every day only lasted like a year or two. Mostly it was each body part 3 times a week. Lots of sets, lots of reps. Then it went to each body part 2 times a week. Okay? That was from 1980, all the way up till I was maybe in my 40s. Okay? Always train each body part 2 times a week. I grow like that. Now, I know some of you be like, nah, that's overtraining for me. Listen, whatever floats your boat. Okay? Listen to your body. You're going to listen to your body. I don't know your body. I know my body. And I'm telling you, my body responded like that. Okay? So, what else? I didn't do a lot of exercises. I would like to do 3 exercises, but I like to stick with that. Sometimes I only did 2 exercises, which is crazy, but because I can get a pump. I'm different than most of you. I can get a pump, and I can keep that shit. And I can just do set after set after set, and the pump got greater. Didn't go away. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I didn't want to change to another. Sometimes if I change to another exercise, it kind of took a little pump away. I go back and I'm getting pumped again. That's just me. That doesn't mean it's right for you. It's just because, I'm a freak in that area, and it worked for me. And I still do that today. A lot of times I'll do 1 or 2 exercises, again, for a body part. I'll just beat the shit out of it. There's people who train in the gym with me. They see me on a machine. They're like, you've been on that machine for like 45 minutes. And they see I'm just set after set. It's not like I'm just sitting around, or looking at some cell phone or talk. I'll talk to, in between sets but I'm doing like 30 seconds, with that. Like I'm using like back or something like that, But I'll do a shit so many sets it's not funny. That's me. Most people could not do that. Could not sit and do 50 sets of 1 exercise. I can. And I did. And that's how I got to where I was. That's right for me. So, anyway, I'm keep hitting this fucking thing here. Anyway, alright guys. So, that's pretty much it. That's just, I'm talking about how did I get like that as a natural bodybuilder. Okay? My reps were always kept high. When I would go real heavy, when we do stupid shit, and some of the heavy stuff was stupid, okay, because it wasn't clean. It was like swinging and jerking, and almost like clean and jerking, like I said, the barbell. Okay, I would get 6 reps the most with that, but I didn't do a lot of that. Most of the time, I got 10 to 12 reps. Okay, I would start fucking burning out around 8 or 9. I'd squeeze out about another 3. That's the way I do it today. That's the way I like it. The number 10 is a beautiful number for me. Rep-wise, 12 is also beautiful. So in between that. Alright? Again, I can recommend that to you. Don't go too low in reps, especially with legs. You walk on legs. Anybody that does 5-6 reps thinks that that's going to get them big. You could do massive amounts of steroids, but be natural and have legs. Go try to be natural and have legs the size of mine. You can't do it. You can't. Because my fucking shit was big, bro. I have to, my way, and I still believe in with the legs. It's high reps, bro. Lots of reps. Got to really put the blood in there. You walk on a leg, okay? Chickens, their legs are red meat. They got big, right? The big drumstick, right, on a chicken. Regular birds don't have any of that. They're just skinny because they don't really use their legs. They just fly. Okay, a chicken's chest is white meat. Why? Because it's powerful. A chicken goes, buddy, you don't go, look at a flock of chickens up there flying. Right? Because they can't fly. They'll go, they just shoot across the fucking room. Oh wait, that sounded more like a freaking turkey. Same thing with turkeys though. They're not like flying, they're more land birds, okay? So if they were to pump their wings, which is white meat, which is white fiber, that's strength, to shoot them across the room, but they walk on their legs. So their legs are red fiber, okay, and their chest is white fiber because it's explosive movement. If you learn how your body, the distribution of fiber, I know what my body has. I don't know what your body has, okay? But that's why I knew, and I can get away with the reps. And I'm telling you, everybody walks on their legs. It's not mostly white fiber. It's mostly red fiber because you got to walk. And you got to, how much you use your legs more than you use your pecs? That's why heavyweights work good with pecs, but don't work good with, and I know some of you are like, that's bullshit. God bless you. God bless you. Alright? All I know is, what do your legs look like without steroids? Mine were ripped and big. Your legs are ripped, or were you fat? You're fat ass with the fucking fat legs. Don't give me that shit. You didn't have the little waist like this, or hard shit, bulby legs with fucking hamstrings jumping. I was in high school, and I look like that. There you go. I'm on a set of Generation Iron, and I'm taking my new favorite supplement, Game Face. I used to take Alpha Brain, but it's twice as strong, and I'm a big nootropic guy, and I need it when I do films like this. So, like me, I think you should get your Game Face on. You could sit here and watch this and think that I'm the biggest jerk-off or fluke or freak or whatever you want to call me, you know. I may not look appealing to you or anybody else, but that doesn't matter to me. All right, so we're going to wind it up now. I'm not trying to get on some of you guys, but you know what happened? I keep telling you it's right for me. I'm giving you a basic blueprint of what I did. You can color that in for you. That's what you got to do. But I'm a firm believer in a lot of work, okay? And it worked for me. And I didn't overtrain, and I wasn't on steroids. Supplements, what did I take? I told you I took protein powder, Rio H. Blair when I can get it, Multi-Power, because that's what they used to sell in the gym, Multi-Power Formula 90, the silver gray tub. I took a lot of that. You know, it's unflavored. What else? I took Hoffman's protein pills, Hoffman's lecithin. What else? I think I once took bee pollen. I didn't know what the hell to take. There was not supplements like there is today. You know, there was supplements. It was mostly protein shit, you know. That's what I took. There was no creatine. There was none of that shit. I wasn't around yet, you know, in the 70s and stuff. So when you see all those pictures of me in the 70s, I look fucking unbelievable. That shit was, I ate. My mother, you know, would bitch. You know, listen, if you're young and you're a teenager, you know you're doing something right when your mother says, I just bought that dozen eggs. I bought them yesterday. How the hell are they all gone? Then you know you're doing something right, okay? My mother would bitch, but I would eat the fucking eggs like they were, you know, I eat a lot of eggs, cheese, meat, tuna. You know, the meat was mostly beef. Chicken, too. You know, my mother would throw that in, whatever. That's it. Pork once in a while. I like pork now. Tuna fish, you know. Sometimes I would eat it out of a can, but I don't really like that. I would eat it, you know, with the chopped up bullshit in there and the mayonnaise, you know. Not onions. I don't eat onions. I'm a bleached Italian. I don't eat onions and I don't eat garlic. No onions, no garlic. Yeah. Shit fucking affects me. I eat peppers and then I regret it later. Me and Jimmy the Bull. We'll eat sausage and peppers. I love sausage and peppers, but the peppers I gotta be careful. Like, you know, I gotta take some like fucking shit to digest that, like Beano, because it helps to break down the green shit, man. And the gut, I don't get gas. I get like fucking bad stomach though, like agita, you know. What else? So I ate that stuff, and of course I ate Italian food. It's, you know, I'm Italian, and my mother was, like, you know, Northern Italian, Genoa, and you know, so we ate, you know, I had pasta and everything, but I was a teenager, you know, but I knew when I dieted, I didn't eat any. Oh my God, when I dieted, Jesus, man, I ate really diet Jello, oats, what else? Diet Jello, oats. I would eat, this is why I said, Jesus, I was afraid to eat too much beef, so I ate chicken. And I would eat the chicken microwave. Now, dude, if you've ever thrown chicken breast in a microwave, and that's how I cooked it. I really didn't know to throw it in the oven or any of that shit. I didn't care. I wasn't eating for taste. I was eating for purpose. So I would just eat the chicken microwave, and oh my God. Oof, I remember I would say, I'm never doing this again. Fuck this. And then, sure enough, another concert's coming, and, you know, I do it again. You know, so... You know, I hated chicken for the longest time because I ate nothing but microwave chicken. Try taking a chicken breast and throwing it in a microwave. It's dry. I used to have to take water. I would eat a lot of salad, Diet Jello, salad. What else? I have notes. I kept all my notes. I have notes from like 25 years, and I stopped taking, but I kept a journal every fucking day, how I felt, what I ate, how I trained, what body parts I trained, how many sets I did. I have all that still. You should make that into a book. Whatever. But anyway, so that's what I did. So I had supplements was the protein, food was the eggs, the chicken, beef, mostly beef, but contest time chicken, tuna fish with the shit in it. I did eat fish back then. I used to catch like fucking sunnies and fucking, we go out and fucking, in the sound off of like Brooklyn and shit, Sheepshead Bay down there, off of Rye Playland. We go off down there and we catch a fucking, flounder and shit. So I'd eat all that shit, but I can't eat that now. I can eat tuna, but it's got to have that chopped up shit. I can't eat it out of the can. I used to eat it out of the can when I was younger. Oh, sardines, too. I can't eat that shit no more. Ugh. I don't know. I look back and I laugh. How the fuck did I sit and eat sardines with mustard? Bah. Can't do it now. But I did it back then. We'd catch sunnies. Fucking little sunny fish like this and shit. We'd fry them fuckers up and we'd eat them. Can't do any of that now. Of course, I fried it, you know what I mean? I can't do that, but that's what I eat. Don't eat, right now I eat, beef and shit like that, chicken, turkey, pork. I eat a lot of pork, and I don't mean my mother-in-law. It's fucking pig. Anyway, so that's it. So now you got a good idea of how did Valentino get like that. Okay, so there's how I got like that. I'm going to tell you what I think you're doing wrong, and I'm going to come up with I got a couple of good videos coming for you. Because, I want to tell you, because most of you guys I know, some of you guys it's hard to talk to, okay? So you're like stuck in your ways. There's no way. Some guys quote science, and they quote these other assholes that they watch on YouTube. Whatever. But hey, I trained in an era where there were no gyms. Sometimes I go to the White Plains Y when I was 15 years old. I'd only been there like 10 times, 15 times, because I lived far away, and my friend would go. He drove. I didn't even drive, but for the most part, I trained at home. When I was young, there were no gyms, man. There was no gyms around, okay? And if you worked out in the 70s, unless you lived in like, an area where there's a lot of gyms, there was never a lot of gyms, but there was a gym. Sometimes you had to travel a little bit to go to a gym, so you show me a guy that looked like I did, okay? Like a guy, looked like I was on juice. Okay, you show me a guy that was 100% natural, looked like I did. Even lifting plastic weights. Go look what I look like at 15 years old. I mean, I wasn't ready to fucking beat anybody in shows and stuff, but come on, bro. For 15 years old, just sitting in a room lifting plastic, curling on your father's art desk. You know what I'm saying? With plastic weights. Fucking using springs to develop your triceps and, shit like that. Doing no weight squats with no weight, because how am I going to squat at home? You know what I mean? I didn't have any weights. I had weights, but I can't. What am I going to do? Put a bar with like 2 fucking plastic weights on the end? Get the hell out of here, Show me a guy that fucking built. Look at my back, bro. I had a fucking back. My back is, my back and my legs and forget about my fucking, my arms and shit. I always had naturally broad shoulders. The clavicle-wise. You can see it in some of the pictures of me fishing and stuff. What else? What am I missing? But you show me some guys that look. Dude, you got guys that can go train in a gym. Teenagers that can go train in a gym right now. Natural, without drugs. Well, most of them have to take drugs. They all do drugs today. But anyway, you show me a teenager that looks like that, okay? With, these guys today, you walk in a gym and all this beautiful equipment for every body part. You know what I mean? And I did that shit with fucking nothing. No. You show me a teenager who could look like that. No drugs. Didn't even know what steroids were, bro. Never heard of them. Back then we heard it, before I knew the word steroid, we heard it was hormone. And I'm like, what the fuck is hormone? I had no idea. Oh. Alright. So that's it. I'll be doing more, alright? You know, if you like this video, if you guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, go on my channel and find the video that I just did. Okay? Greg Valentino, younger years. I think it says music video. Go on there, watch that video, and in the middle of that video, you'll see this whole video. It should knock your socks off, because most people think of me as this fucking Momo that just pumped his arms up with shit and like look at that fucking face though. Holy crap! And go look at me. I was a good-looking kid, bro, and I was packing a sausage too. If you watch the video, you can see when I was young. I'm still packing a sausage, you know. I just did a video for Dave and John. We're flexing my legs, and my girlfriend's like, you know, I don't know if you showed it, because you can see this big fucking hammer hanging down in my little skivvy white, tidy whities. She loves it, though, bro. Come on. I'm 7 years older than her mother. Well, actually, I'm not sure it's 5 or 7, because she changes her age. But whatever, I'm older than her mother, even though her mother looks like fucking way older than me. You know, and I've been with my girlfriend going on 18 years, you know. And she's, what, 36, 37 now. And I'm fucking 63, so. It's hammer time. Anyway, alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, man. Don't be a deadbeat dad. Remember, be good to your kids and be good to your girl. Don't be a fucko. I can't stand fuckos. Don't watch. I don't give a shit. Alright? Stop fucking around. Yeah, baby. Alright, I'll see you. Like and subscribe.